Hello and welcome at FIDE World's Women Team Championship 2021. I'm Keti, this is Stuart, and here we have second day, but third round.
Third round?
As we're having.
And later the fourth round.
Yes.
Yeah, two rounds a day.
Yes. We're in Sitges, beautiful city of Spain, Catalonia.
Yes.
And the players, as you have seen, they have already started to play chess. The games. So let's take a look now at the pairings and also at the standings and check out the situation after round two. Well, here we have two pools, and the teams are divided in those two pools. And here we are. Would you like to read out the pool A?
Well, sure.
Teams?
Pool A. So CFR team won both their matches yesterday, so they have 4 points. One of the favorite, or probably the favorite team on rating. Led by Alexandra Gorachkina, whose birthday it is today, Keti.
It is
It's her birthday
her birthday. He just turned 23 years old.
Just today, 23. So many happy returns to her. Pool A, second team, Armenia, 3 points, a win and a draw, and India the same, a win and a draw. In fourth place, Azerbaijan with, I think they drew both their matches yesterday. And then France and Spain lost both their opening matches, but still lots to play for, of course.
Yeah.
And Keti, Pool B?
Yeah, in Pool B, here we have Georgia, my country, leading the Pool B together with Kazakhstan. Those two teams are clearly one of the leaders, together with Ukraine. And Germany also has 2 points, as well as FIDE Americas. And Poland in this group is the only team who have not scored yet any point. But today they have 2 rounds to play, and the most important is that all those teams should qualify to top 4.
Exactly. The top 4 of each pool go through into the knockout phase, correct?
That's right. So it is very important to just to be safe and to be in top places. Then you will not have risk to be out of the division. And then we're going to have playoffs.
Right.
8 teams will get into the quarterfinals first.
Quarterfinals, semifinals, and final.
Yeah. Finals. All right, let's take a look at these pairings. Maybe we have the pairings. We can take a look. Yes. Oh, yeah. And here we have a playing hall, and on the screen we can see
Harika.
Harika with white pieces against Elena Danielian.
Danielian. Yes, great.
So this is the match India versus Armenia.
Yes.
And here we have Marisa back with white pieces against Anna Matnaze.
France, Spain.
From Spain.
France against Spain, right.
France against Spain, yes. Yes. And here we have a birthday girl.
There she is.
Yes. And she's playing against Gunay Mamazat. I think these girls are at the same age, right?
Right. Or Gunay may be a little bit younger, I'm not sure. A
little bit younger. This game will be really interesting.
This should be a great game, yes. We'll certainly come back and look at this one, I think.
Yes. So the things are getting really interesting, and you know what? Those teams who couldn't qualify to the next division, they have to say goodbye.
They have to say goodbye. That's so sad.
To Sitges and to this tournament. I had a little chat with some of the players today, and some of them are worrying about that. It's hard to play against, even this last round, it's just their opponents are very strong. So they're a bit worried about the situation. And here we have Poland against Ukraine, the first board.
Now it's interesting, Keti, that the Ukraine, I see from the pairings that Maria Musicuk is not playing in this first match this afternoon. So
That
Anna is on board 1, but
interesting.
normally we would see Maria Musicuk on board 2, but she's taking a rest.
That's right.
So I think every team here has a 5th player. So 4 players play in each match, but every team has a reserve.
Yeah.
So it's probably good also to rotate players and bring in your reserve player.
Absolutely, and the good thing is that Ukraine has strong enough team. Like even without Maria Musicuk, they have 2 grandmasters and 2 international masters on the fourth board. So they are still the rating favorites in this match against Poland. And now we can see Kazakhstan, Shansaya Abdumalik with white pieces against Corey Talodese. That's FIDE Americas.
Yes.
The first boards. And yeah, first boards are very important for every team and for players as well. Now, when your first board wins some game, then you have to win as well.
Well, the first board is the team leader. You lead the team and you set by example, right?
Exactly.
There's Elisabeth Petz, another top player, of course, for Germany. And look who she's playing. She's playing Nana.
She's playing Nana.
And I know they're great friends. Elizabeth and Nana are great friends.
They're very good friends, and they're friends for many years. And Nana used to call her Lizika. This is Georgian version of Lizzie. In the end, sometimes we just add call. And Lizzie has this nickname, I think, on her Twitter. Maybe on her Twitter.
Okay.
She's Lizika. They are friends, but when it comes to the board...
Well, this is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can be friends before the game and after the game, but
exactly.
You know, you just have to play your best chess, play your best moves, and
it
doesn't really matter who you're playing, does it? You just have to do your job.
That's right. You have to do this for a team, and those players are well trusted by their country, their federation, to be representatives, right?
Let's just remind everyone of the time control here, which is an unusual one. They have 45 minutes per player for all their moves with a 10-second increment.
Yes. This is sort of new for us. And me personally really like this time control. It's
Have you ever played this time control?
Nah. No. I like to play all the time controls, including bullet games. And I like classical chess because I do like when I have time to think and plan everything and remember all the theories that I'm struggling with. But when it comes to Blitz and Rapid, I also enjoy that. How about you? Which time control?
Well, when I was playing a lot, I used to mostly play in classical tournaments. I like semi-rapid or rapid games. 20, 25 minutes. In Spain, I used to play lots of these tournaments in Spain. One-day events on a Saturday or a Sunday, typically, or over both days. 9 rounds or 7 rounds, 20, 25-minute games. I used to enjoy this.
Yeah, very nice. The good thing is that we have 2 games and we have double fun for us, for commentators and spectators. So we should ask about that too, players, how they feel of double games, double rounds. How hard is that? But judging from their faces yesterday, they looked pretty happy. Okay.
And also in the knockout phase, it's also 2 matches per day, correct?
Yeah.
When we have the knockout phase.
Yeah, white color and black color for both,
right.
all the players.
Okay.
All right, let's get now back to our chessboards and check out the games. Which match we gonna be focused?
Should we look at the birthday girl? Do you want to see Alexandra first?
Yes. Here we have it.
Let's have a look.
So what is the situation? They have played so far only 8 moves, what I have seen.
This is a Berlin defense, correct, in the Spanish? Slightly unusual position, I think.
Yes. Alexandra is the one who spent the most of the time. She spent about 10 minutes, every 10 minutes.
She looks very serious there, doesn't she? You see in the image. But
yes. Yes, that's her look, right? She's very serious. Uh,
Even unhappy. She looks a little unhappy, but I don't think she is. It's just
she's
that's how she looks. Huh?
focused. Yeah,
Very
she's
focused.
very focused.
Very
She's
focused.
Yes. I think all the players are very much focused.
That's Gune.
That is Kunai, and she has more time on the clock. And very interesting situation, right? This bishop d3 that sort of targets h7 pawn. Like if black just castles here, that's gonna might be some problem here on h7, and perhaps white wants to play at some point c3 d4 to get some center. But for now, knight on e5 is hanging, right? So white has to make decision how to play here.
Well, there's a rook on e1. I mean, white can do many things.
Blind me.
White can do many things, yeah.
This rook looks really
I'm not familiar
nice
with this particular position. White's move bishop d3, the previous move. It's not one I don't think I've seen before.
Yeah, this is interesting. The bishop was on b5 first. Knight was attacking. And
bishop
now
f1
bishop
is
f1.
kind of standard.
And now bishop
d3,
yeah. Attacking the knight. But this bishop is is moving way too much. And after knight d4, white is thinking.
So this bishop's on c1 needs to be developed, doesn't it?
Yes.
So sure, you could play c3 and bishop back to c2. But in general, these lines are very solid for black symmetrical pawn structures. Just this one open E line.
That's right. Right. Guna is taking her time. Here we have on the screen the rating 2280.
I think that's a rapid rating, isn't it?
Rating,
it's a FIDE rapid rating.
But her strength is very close to 2500, 24 plus rated player in classical rating. Let's get to the second board.
Okay.
And here we have with white pieces current World Cup winner.
Yes, a former world champion.
Kosteniuk against Mamadeva Gulnar.
Gulnar, right.
Have this
French defense by the looks of it.
Yes. Oh, this bishop on e5. It's good looking bishop.
Alexandra has just played knight b1 to d2. Now black could castle kingside. Castle queenside looks much too risky, doesn't it? But castle and kingside looks fine.
She just go. She just went for that.
Has she played that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Castle. How do you feel about these pawns and these pawns?
I feel. I don't feel anything really.
You don't have any feelings for those.
That's your classical French pawn structure, e6,
Really?
d5, of course. White has the e5 square for a piece, and b4 would just push back black's bishop on c5 back to e7 a few moves ago. So.
Is white is going to play c4 at some point?
I don't think so. No, maybe knight b3 perhaps. Moves like bishop d3, queen e2. Play in the center, play to keep control of e5. And maybe a2 to a4 and start pushing up here on the queen side as well.
I see. And black is okay to have this pawn on e6, but to have open file, right?
Black has the open, half open f file, moves like knight g4 may come. And yeah, it's sort of non-theoretical, I think. I'd be happy with both colors.
Yeah, I would not, because I have no idea what's going on here in this position. And yeah, but perhaps they know, and for sure they know this pawn structure looks interesting. Maybe we can get to the next in the same match. Let's check out This is, I believe this is fourth board, and here we have Alina Kashlinskaya with white pieces, and she's facing Mamedyarova Turkan, one of the siblings of Mamedyarov family, Grandmaster's family, and the youngest sibling. And what's happening in this position?
It's a very solid, quiet position for the time being, isn't it? Sort of Queen's Indian defense or Queen's Gambit declined. Last move was Queen C2. It looks pretty equal at the moment, Keti.
Yeah.
I think we should come back to this one later on. I mean, lots can happen.
We
Nice solid game for both players at the start. And board 3 of this match.
Board 3, here we have
Okay. Wow.
Ulvia Fataleva against Polina
yes.
Shuvalova. And a very exciting
Yes.
position. Look at this queen
Absolutely.
on d4, being so active.
Now, black is a pawn up. Black is a pawn up.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a problem on d5, and white wants to put a rook on d1. Interesting. This could be dangerous for black.
Can be really dangerous for black. But if black manages to develop the bishop and to find the proper square for this bishop, that might be okay. It's black to move now, and can we capture this pawn on e4? Otherwise, rook d1 is coming, right? And white will capture on d5. So let's take a look what's happening here.
And then I guess one of the rooks, rook a to d1, for example. Queen will have to go to f6 to defend the rook. Knight takes e4. It's Queen e7. It looks dangerous to me for black.
Yeah.
And also with black's king on the queen side and this long diagonal, this Catalan bishop, let's say, this bishop on g2, Fien, shattered bishop. Good long-term attacking prospects, I think, for white.
Yeah, this looks very scary and dangerous for black. For this reason, here black decided to get this queen on f6, and she went
just to give the pawn back.
Yes.
Queen f6, sensible.
Now white has to make a decision to capture this d5 pawn with a knight or with a pawn. Both moves looks quite decent.
I would maybe take with the pawn to win a tempo, because black will have to move her bishop. Bishop f5, I assume. And then queen somewhere, queen a4, queen b3. Right, exciting game.
That's right, that's right. I think this game is more or less like not balanced, rather than the other games. They were more into the theory. Maybe we can go to the next match, and in Pool A we have India playing against Armenia.
Right.
So here we have Harika Dronavali on the first board against Elina Danelian. Another French.
Another French defense.
Another French.
Where white has taken the black knight on h6. And the bishop has gone back to f8 from c5 to defend the h6 pawn. It's kind of theoretical, I believe. What would you play as white, Keti, in this position? What kind of moves would you be looking at?
Really, I was thinking for black rook g8 to get on a semi-open file and attack the king. White can start to play on the queen side, something like c4 at some point.
Yep, perhaps.
Then
perhaps. This knight on b1 really needs to have some future, like you said. But if you play c4, the knight can come to c3.
Yeah.
Might be a good move, c4. Or move the queen to allow the knight to come to d2.
That's right.
Queen f4 maybe.
Queen f4 to guard d5. Then I was like, how about h3, knight h2, knight g4? Crazy idea, but that's tough. Bishop g7 stops all the madness there.
Ah, look, c4. Well done.
Oh,
well
nice.
Done, Keti.
Nice.
You should be playing. You shouldn't be commentating. You should be.
No, that's too risky. It's too risky. c4. So she feels that she needs to get knight out of this b1 square, and also I like this move because it attacks the center immediately.
Yes, and white has a lead in developments.
Yes.
A little. I mean,
king is in the center, and why not to play this and open up some files and some diagonals?
Yeah, it's a principled move. It's looks good. c4, interesting, nice sharp position, and black to play. Not so easy. Maybe queen a5, for example.
Queen a5. Just to try to.
I'm not sure if that's a good move or not. It might not be. Yeah. Of course, take on c4 is possible. D takes c4.
Queen a5.
You could play knight c3.
Just to develop the knight. Yeah.
What about your move rook g8? Was that instead of queen d8 to a5? Maybe your move of rook g8 is possible.
To
I had a little
try to get some counterplay, right?
I think she's moved now, but the idea was if white takes twice on d5, there would be rook takes g2 check. Do you see that?
Oh wow!
Let's
see that.
Yeah,
let's see that.
It's tricky. And
so if we're taking here, that's beautiful, and white is greedy to capture the pawn. Oh.
Which is actually not maybe perfectly possible. Rook takes g2 check.
Rook takes
That's
g2. And now if king takes on g2, we have a beautiful check here that opens the queen. And next move, no matter what white plays, we're just getting the queen, and this is game over. So this little, and that's a beautiful tactic, could happen. Right, but Ellen decided to play bishop g7.
Right.
To attack on e5.
On e5, white's weak pawn.
Yeah. So now what happens if white still captures the e5 pawn?
Well, either knight takes e5, but also black could play, perhaps just take on d5 and then bishop e6. This e5 pawn is very weak. Or bishop f5.
To play on this.
This pawn is going to fall, I think, in a move or two.
Yes.
And black will castle kingside. Lots of open lines for the bishops. So, or knight takes e5 after taking on d5.
Right away.
Yeah, maybe. Before after c takes d5. I mean.
Here, yes.
Perhaps.
Yes. Yeah, looks also very nice.
A couple of options there.
Looks also very nice. So after bishop g7, seems like e5 pawn is something that white has to take care.
It's, I mean, the pawn is, even if we defend it with a queen, black could play queen c7 next move.
That's right. Still attack.
It may be too late to save that pawn.
Yeah, true. That's true. This is this very interesting position for sure, and maybe we can just get to the next board. And here we have, with white pieces, we have Tanya Sachdev.
Okay, crumbs, look at this position. Very sharp.
Yeah, against Anna Sargsyan. They're both very sharp players, right? And the position is also quite interesting.
So black has just played her queen from d8 to h4, pinning the h3 pawn to the rook. Unless white can sacrifice and try to trap the black queen. I don't know if that's possible. What a position, hmm?
It's so interesting. There is also bishop g5 to attack the queen. You suggest to take, right?
Well, I'm not suggesting it. I'm just saying.
Just check on. And then, oh, sorry.
And then knight h3 or something like this. But it's maybe too much to ask.
Even this position looks very good for without rook, right? Looks all the pieces
Well,
are
I don't know. I'm not
well
sure.
developed.
It's a crazy position, huh?
But how about bishop g5? This is
okay. Let's look.
it's interesting where the queen is going to go. Bishop g5.
Queen h5.
Queen h5. And just to develop the bishop anywhere, for instance here. Well, the idea is if you remove your bishop, then after g4, you can again come back on g4 and the rook will be hanging. Yeah.
There's also moves like, well, I don't know actually. c4 for black. Maybe with still some kind of theory. I don't know, they played quite a few moves, 14 moves each.
Yeah.
It's the kind of opening variation that you could fall into a trap easily, a prepared line on either side. Something sharp and forcing which the other player has prepared and you don't have it in your repertoire. That
Yeah, it can happen.
A tactical accident.
Yeah, that can happen.
You know? So interesting. Anyway, so it's Tanya's move. She's white, correct?
Tanya is with white, and we have her on the screen. Nowadays, we see her a lot when she's commentating. But not that much when she's playing, right?
But she still likes to play, of course, as we see.
Yeah, she played recently the online Olympiad, and there was one interesting situation when she blundered the piece very badly, and she said that she wanted to resign. It was so bad, but then she said, like, I can't resign. It's a team competition. If it's individual competition, I would resign, but team is counting on me. So she continued to play a game without a piece.
And then she won or drew? What was the?
Yes.
Yeah.
She did not lose. So it ended really good for her and also for Team India. And somehow this team competition always brings this fighting moment, right?
Very much.
Yes, you have to try your best, otherwise there are also other players.
Yeah, because you let your team down. That's the thing, is that if you're playing a tournament as an individual, you let yourself down.
Yeah.
But, well, we've all done that. I mean, that's something. But if you let your team down, or your country, your captain, that's something different, isn't it? That's hard to.
It's very different, and
hard to do, hard to bear.
Then you have to get this trust back, and you know, for some teams they have a lot of players, and you might be replaced.
Yes.
By the other players. So team competitions
dropped
are
from the team.
Oh, it's tricky. We can get to the third game, and this is Lilith Mikrotichian.
Wow, look at this. Look at this. Fantastic. Who's playing here, Keti? Lilith from Armenia.
Against Vaishali. And look at Vaishali.
This is board 2 of the match, yeah?
Yeah.
India, Armenia, board 2. Wow.
So g5, knight is hanging. If knight retreats back, then the bishop will be trapped. So this is not a good choice for white, because now this bishop has a problem. So instead, here white has to capture the pawn on f5, right?
So let's see. Knight takes f5, and anyway g4, I suppose.
G4.
Well, Black is winning a piece.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, the moves like knight f6 check is not really helping because after queen takes and this bishop g4 is not saving as the knight is attacked twice and white is losing.
Do you think white has fallen into a trap?
I think so. Let's take a look at that. If it's so, that might be really bad for Lilith, because do you remember yesterday's game? She also felt for a trap in the opening. So this was the game.
Right. So
yeah. E4, knight went on h4. Bishop went on h3.
and now
and
g5.
g5.
Well, there may be lines with, for example, a3 and b4 and try to get the bishop to b2. If white could bring her bishop to b2 down the diagonal with obviously threats on f6. So there may be, maybe she just leaves the knight on h4 and starts with something like a3.
Yeah.
But then bishop c5 and if b4, bishop d4. So it's also not so straightforward.
Oh, wow. B4.
Well, b4 would not work really because of bishop d4. But you see my idea, I was trying to get the bishop
Yeah.
to b2, but it doesn't work.
How about instead of a3, just to play b3 here? And after g takes h, just bishop on b2.
Well, I think maybe.
Castle looks okay, or rook f8.
Or rook f8 or castles, I agree.
Yeah. Oh, there's also knight e5, just to...
Well, but then the bishop is hanging on b4.
Uh-huh, okay, yeah. It's not
But castles, yeah, or rook f8.
castles.
Interesting, yeah?
She's probably considering that possibilities, but it's not the best one. I think it's only one, right?
Well, I don't know. There's probably some hidden resources that we haven't... we're going quite fast, but g5 is obviously weakening that diagonal. So white would love to be able to bring her bishop to b2,
Yeah,
even giving a piece on the other side of the board, you know?
yeah, that's right. All right, let's get to the third board. And here we have Susan Gaboyan against Kulkarni Batki. E5 was played and knight d5 is
d5.
the black's response.
Well, black is solid. The bishop stands well on h7. Black is okay, I think. Sure, it's just a position. I think. What would white do here?
White can try f4, f5, or white can also try to push c4 and to kick this knight from d5 square. Because of this e5 pawn, white has a bit more space.
More space, right? Also a quiet developing move, something like bishop d2. Maybe reasonable, or c3 or something like this. Not quite sure what I would do as white. Interesting game.
Yeah. To sum up this, all the games. It's
And we see the tournament hall there.
yeah.
With, as we saw yesterday, plenty of space between the tables. Some players wearing masks, Keti,
Some's not. Some players not.
and match officials.
Yeah, it is not mandatory to wear a mask. and it's just up to the player. What would you personally prefer, to have a mask when you play chess or not?
Well, no, I've never. I mean, I would rather not. I think I would rather not have to wear one if I had the choice.
Yeah.
Actually, I was giving someone a lesson, a friend of mine, before I came here, Keti, a few days ago in England. And he's playing a tournament now, a senior tournament in Sardinia. I think it's the European over 65s he's taking part in. And we had a training session, and he wore a mask. We had a training game, a couple of games, and he wanted to wear a mask to practice because he's expecting to have to wear a mask in the tournament as part of his training.
Okay.
Although it was a very friendly lesson that we had. He's a good friend of mine.
That's very smart.
He wore a mask. He said I didn't have to wear one, but he wanted to wear one to kind of get the feel of playing playing in those conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Was the move c3 played?
Yeah, c3 was played.
Okay, that was one of the moves I thought of. Just, cementing the knight on d4 a little bit, just and just see what black does. White has a little more space.
Yeah.
But black is absolutely fine, of course.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna see this move f4, f5, or white will try some other moves.
I don't think it's dangerous for black. Black is solid. Black has her pieces. The bishop on h7 is nice. We may see f4, but it's also it's a little bit loose for white, maybe.
Unnecessary, maybe.
It really depends on how white chooses to, because maybe white wants to play a bit safer than that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, as you remember from the standings, Armenia is doing really good. They have 3 points, and they are not in danger zone so far. And they're facing Team India, so maybe they just want to play some solid chess.
This is Elena there we see playing against Harika.
That's right.
The game we looked at a little bit earlier.
Yeah. We can get back in there just for a minute, and then we can go to the next pool where we have more teams.
As we said yesterday, unluckily for India, Humpy Konra is not able to be here with the team. She's they bought one player and one of the very best in the world, but there you are. She can't make it. So this is the position.
Wow! Look at the bar; it just dropped all over down, and it gives black huge advantage. Or it's just no, it's not our analysis; it's the actual game. Let's check it out.
So there was. This is what happens, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I even suggested this possibility, didn't I? No.
This is the position. Knight c3 was played. Queen g5. Okay, yeah. It was just.
Sorry. Okay. This is the game.
Yeah, this is the game. Queen g5. Black is afraid to trade the queens and then to play endgame with pair of bishop.
It looks like a blunder because of the move f2, f4, doesn't it? But then black would have bishop takes c3, I suppose.
That's right, yeah.
And then queen takes d5.
B takes c3, and now queen takes d5. And here we have a weakness. And black's king.
Black's king is fine,
right?
because, and black's a pawn up.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the other pool. And now we can check more teams. Here we have Ukraine against Poland, first board, and we have Anna Muzichuk against Jolanta Zawadzka. White just played queen c1 just to get out of the spin from d file.
Right.
And the material situation is equal. Although I'd really like the knight on d4 being in the center so active.
So black to play. Oh, she has a little clock advantage as well. Jolanta. She's doing okay. She's doing fine, huh?
Good,
it's kind of balanced position, I think. Yeah, like you say, the knight on d4 stands very well. Plenty of options I could think of. A move like bishop f5, for example, to attack the rook on b1. Black is active, yeah? She has a nice active game. Or she could try to exchange with a move like knight f6 to d5. I don't know if she needs to. But
I like this move. Just to also to be ready if needed to push f5, f4.
There we see the two players there, Anna
yeah.
waiting for her opponent's move. She's sort of looking off away a little bit. Here we go. Oh, knight d5 it looks like.
Knight d5 was
looks
played.
Like she's played knight d5. You said you like that move.
I like this move. Yes, I do like this move. It brings the knight in the center. Sometimes also looking, as it's just keeping this chance for f5 to start some play on the king side and get more space in the center. And if white captures the knight, then bishop might come here.
Yes, why not? Yeah.
To look on the king side. Yeah.
It's pleasant for black, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, maybe it's no more than that, but it's
just pleasant to play, and I think that's also the reason why white there is a 10 minutes difference on the clock.
Right.
Because it's easier to play with black. They have more space, and the pieces are more active.
And I think also, as we've said a little bit before, Keti, as when you're playing board one in the team competition and you have black, you really just want to be solid. If you're sort of setting an example to your team members as well. You want to get a good, safe, solid position, safe king, and maybe sort of make it like a stabilizing influence on that top board. If you can draw on top board, and then it leaves two white players further down to try to press, you know. So I think she'll be very happy, Jolanta, with the where the game has gone so far.
Yes, they need to score in this match just to get any score, because so far they have 0 points.
Right.
And they're playing against Ukraine now. It's tough opponent. We know that it is very tough opponent.
Is Monika Sochka not playing today?
Monika is playing on the second board. I had a little chat with Monika.
Oh, yes, she's playing Anna Ushanina. We could maybe look at that game.
And she was a bit unhappy as they lost both matches yesterday.
Yeah.
And they had a bit difficult situation, because at the last moment they learned that one of the top players for the team had the positive results for COVID, and she had to stay at home, and she's probably just observing now the games from home. So
it's a shame.
Yeah.
So Monika here with white against former women's world champion Anna Ushanina. It looks absolutely level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think this game will end a draw.
This game reminds me some position from books where you study the end game, classical end game. So white has the majority pawn on the king side, and black has on the queen side, but none of the side has any weaknesses, and there are not too much of the pieces on the board. Also, if rooks are off the board, this end game with bishop and the knight could be not so hard to play from both sides.
But you know, things can happen, especially in quick time control. And black does. I mean, look, black's bishop is probably marginally better than the white knight, and the king is already nicely out on e7. So
Yeah. We have a rule that players cannot agree on a draw before 30 moves.
That's interesting.
They have to repeat 3 times the position.
Okay.
And
but as we spoke yesterday, the fact that they're not writing the moves down, they don't have a requirement to keep score, it also maybe changes.
Yes, that's interesting. How can
that. We saw yesterday, Keti, an arbiter come to one of the games.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yes, Nino and Dinara game, and then we just kept the video on, and we saw they had some repetition, and then arbiter said, "Okay."
Well, the arbiter came and then left, and then came back.
Yes, and they are not writing down the moves, and this is my question: how can they count that it's 30 move and it's time to overdraw now?
Oh, I see.
It's interesting.
Yes, that's also true.
That's the question we can ask to the one of the arbiters. Maybe there might be some system for it. But as this is sort of new thing, like we're just getting more and more this time control. Maybe we'll get more information, more updates for later tournaments. Well, we can go to the next game in the same match.
In this match, all right. This is Ukraine versus Poland.
And here we have Julia Osmak against Coulon Claudia. And White Rook is super active on h8.
Yes, wow.
On the
I wonder how that rook got there. Looks great for white, huh? Look at this knight on c4, bishop on g2. This looks really good.
Check it out. I like this kind of positions for white, like when you play against this very bad bishop who close the rook, and that gives a lot of chances. So we had this move, c5, rook b8 was played, knight c4 attacking on e5, and now rook get on the 8th rank, now on h8, and black just decided to give up the h7 pawn, but to finally develop the...
Well, because knight d6 was a threat, wasn't it? So that was maybe the only move, knight e8, but it looks clearly better for white going a pawn up now on the next move, I think.
That's right.
And yeah, very difficult.
Yeah, white can capture both pawns on h7 and also on e4. These 2 pawns are hanging. Which one is more better for white?
I don't know.
Both possible, right?
Both look fine. Maybe I would just take on h7. I don't know, but so this looks good for the Ukraine team.
Yeah. And we need one more game in this match. Let's try.
Okay, she took on e4.
On e4.
It simply looks good for white.
Yeah. And Poland is missing second board, so now all these players are playing
a board higher.
Board higher, and they have a substitute who has to play as a main player, and this is Antolak Julia.
Okay.
Against Natalia Buksa. Natalia Buksa used to be world youth champion, international master, whose rating is 2400 plus. Nice. And yeah, she's quite experienced player, as she's a member of the national team of Ukraine for many years. And you know, when you're a member of the national team, you have so much of the benefits, because for the tournaments like these, team competitions, you have always the training camps. You're training, you have the best coaches working for you and with you, and you have an access to these trainings, right? That other players might not have. And in the end, you can also have possibility to play against very strong opponents, so you can get some rating and the title and so on, right?
I mean, Ukraine, of course, has a very strong men's team. So I don't know if some of the top men, I'm sure that they also have sort of joint coaching sessions, for example.
Yes.
I mean, imagine somebody like Ivanchuk coming to your coaching session. It'd be great, you know?
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah.
So she's played f5, Natalia. So what do we think here? It looks about level. Pretty level position, yeah?
Yeah.
Of course, black is in no danger.
Black is no danger. Black is controlling D file. White has to fight back for this file or try some other way to open up the maybe queen side before b5, but that might be too much as it weakens c3 pawn. To control the d file, then king has to come on e2 and then rook d1. And black can be really quickly to get king in the center, right? King f7, king is just queen, king d5. I think black is just a bit pleasant.
Kind of level, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is the last game in this match, and now we can go to Germany against Georgia.
Yes, let's see the game between the two friends.
Two friends.
Lizzie and Nana. What's happening here?
They have played only 13 moves, according what we have, but this might not be the accurate, as the time is also a bit suspicious.
Yes, I see.
They have 45 minutes now.
That's the board. We can maybe zoom in a little bit and have a look at the position.
Yeah, that's a better idea, just to zoom it, and also to take a look at the time. Right.
Here we go. Well, it's white smooth.
20 minutes for white. Did I see? About 17 for...
They haven't played too many moves. There we are.
Yeah. I think, yeah, we have this position on the... It's just time that we have inaccurate, right?
I think we're missing maybe a move from black. I'm not sure. Since...
yeah, that's right. Let me refresh it. Yeah, we are missing the move from black.
But which move? I don't know.
Hard to see. I wonder what's the result between them, like the final results. They have played many games, I'm sure, with that, because they used to be playing a lot in the youth categories. In the same category when they were youth, and they have played probably a lot of games, and it is interesting what's the result.
Sure.
Who is the favorite in this match? Oh, bishop e8 was played here.
I see. Okay, that was the move that we missed, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what to say, really. It's complicated. Bishop b4, perhaps, is one move. But what is white really doing here? What's...
Yeah, rook goes away.
Rook somewhere.
Say this.
White has these pieces on the queen side, but I'm not really sure what's...
They're good looking, but not really at...
They look good, but they're going to be pushed back, I think. a6, of course, is black's threat. Pawn a6. So white needs to rearrange her pieces somehow, or... lots of moves, a2 to a4, maybe.
To push maybe even
a5.
a5.
To allow c5 or a5 to drive the black queen away, and then... Yeah, or even maybe c5 to have knight a3 to c4. Lots of things. Yeah, it's an interesting position.
Yeah. They're playing faster, they're starting to play fast, and...
You know, Keti, they could also be in the last line we looked at there with a5, sorry. Just at the last position.
Yeah?
With, sorry, we said bishop b4, maybe.
Yeah.
Rook e8. a4, we said, I just... Yeah.
a6.
a6. If we played something like a5 or c5, on queen c6, you could maybe take on d4 with the knight. to have e5, you see?
Oh,
These kind of ideas.
Aha. This is nice. The queen is hanging.
I mean, still, it's not...
same time, knight is also hanging. Yeah.
Black might have d3 there. I don't know. It's complicated.
It looks like white is
Complicated.
more active. Look at these beautiful pieces, and black has all the pieces on the back ring. But still, there's not too much of the space.
Yeah, it's very
for
blocked,
those
of course.
pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, plenty to think about there.
Yeah, we can go to the second board, and here we have Haman Josephine against Nino Tsatsalashvili. And maybe we have something here going
Against
on.
Nino.
Ooh.
Well, this looks great for white. This looks fantastic.
This is dreamy position.
Oh, look at that, knight h5. Wow, wow.
Beautiful. Knight h5, knight f6 is now the
All
threat.
white pieces attacking, look.
Beautiful. And if a black captures here, you can choose any move.
Well,
any move.
Maybe not any move, but looks like
Queen h5, rook g3,
bishop takes h7 or
bishop
something.
h7,
Yeah,
queen f5.
it's,
I'm telling you, any move.
any move.
King h1. Yeah.
Oh dear, that looks like a catastrophe. Yeah, it's, and if black doesn't take on h5,
then black has to be
sure.
careful with that.
This must be game over. No? This looks like too much.
Yeah, something went really wrong for black here. White just got the knight on e5, and then f4.
It's kind of Stonewall setup.
And black played a quite normal moves here, like knight on e4, c5. But then look at this rook left here, knight get on g3, and now bishop
g7. You see, this knight on e5 has been there for about 10 or 12 moves, and black has tried to play around the knight and just leave it there and not play f6 and not exchange, but it's very hard to leave that knight on such a powerful square and not do anything, not take a decision about it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, white just increases the pressure.
Yeah. We have German player on the screen. She's really struggling on the board. Yeah.
Still, bishop g7 was maybe the best. Maybe the best chance.
And here we have Nino on the screen. How about to capture this bishop?
Right.
And then to play f5 with the idea of f6.
Very dangerous. I agree.
Queen h6.
Yeah. And all kind of horrible things.
Yes. Very bad things can happen here. There's also knight g4 move with the idea to get the queen on h6.
Yes. Probably right. Keep it simple. Yeah, just take on g7 and then one of those two lines. I think your f5 move is very strong.
Yeah.
Take an f5.
Take an f5.
So we think this will be a win for white.
Yeah. Have you noticed that the Nino is the one who is having the decisive results in all the matches, and she's the first who is winning the games? And this is quite interesting strategy when you play team competitions, right? They put her on the second board.
I mean, she's a very strong player, of course.
She's a very strong player, yes. Usually it is Lela who is playing on the second board, and Nino is playing third board or fourth board.
But they're all sort of about the same.
They have this, yeah.
I mean, Nana has always been out in front a little bit, I think.
Nana's always been there.
Salome's here, of course, as well.
Salome is here, yes.
Is also playing here, for Georgia.
For now, she has not played yet. Today, Mary plays third board. Let's check that out. Here we have an end game.
Black to play. The bishop is attacked. What do we think? Bishop, where does the bishop go?
Where the bishop goes, right?
Bishop c2. Or bishop e6 to attack this pawn. Bishop c2, I think.
Bishop c2. Hmm? Rook d7.
Rook d7, but still black should be fine here. Knight c5,
Knight c5.
maybe.
That's right.
Rook c7, a little bit annoying, but...
Yeah, this knight is just...
it's holding it.
Yeah,
should
holding
be okay
the
somehow.
queen side.
About level, I think.
And the final word on this match?
No, they haven't played many moves.
Yeah.
Looks like a very theoretical, or standard-looking Spanish opening. They played 13 moves only.
Yeah. Yeah, the time on the screen is should not be the correct one. They probably have spent more time. But the position is what we see here. Seems okay. And the live, we have one more team that we can cover and then get our first break. That's Kazakhstan against FIDE Americas. Let's take a look at that. We have
with Shansaya on board one.
Yeah, Shansaya on the board one against Daisy Corey.
Well, this is already over, I think. Is that the right position?
No. This is different round. My bad. This is the current position.
Okay.
Ooh, look at the time. Corey has 4 minutes. Shansaya has 24. This is 20 minutes advantage on the clock. That's huge.
And white's the pawn up also, yeah?
Yes. That is huge.
White is just the pawn up.
Yeah. This girl is dangerous.
Rook e8 was the last move. Rook f to e8. But it's a pawn for nothing, I think.
For bishop.
So Shansaya looking good. She beat Lizzie yesterday, I think, but the game, I heard that Lizzie was actually doing quite well.
Yeah.
Lizzie Petz.
Let's get to the second board in this in the match and check it out here. Still the opening, right?
Well, if that's the position, yeah.
If that's the position.
We only see 9 moves on the screen now.
Yes.
They must have played more moves than that, surely.
Yeah. Maybe we have more games, but we don't receive that. You can try the last 2 boards in this match. This looks interesting.
Yeah.
Black started the kingside attack with f5, g5, h-pawn, and then white also created some weaknesses on the queen side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if white's queen never gets into b7 or a8.
It's a checkmate.
Checkmate, yeah. So black to play.
Yeah, the engine gives the advantage to black, right? a little bit advantage to black. But when you look the position, I prefer here white because I like this move, queen f3 with some mating threats, mating ideas, or e4 even to get the knight on e4 square, rook d1. But the computer says like black has nothing here to worry.
Well, black has queen c6, I suppose, to control this diagonal. If she needs it, she can play g4 here maybe as well. Okay, so of all the games we've seen so far, Keti, which are the ones with the most fire on board, the most excitement?
I think Nino's game was very interesting with this knight h5 sacrifice.
This seemed to be winning, doesn't it, this position?
Yes, that looked really nice for Nino. Here we have this. So
as I was saying that last, then so she played rook g3. She didn't take on g7, and finally this knight has disappeared. Knight takes knight on e5.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like knight g7, f5 was straightforward moves with f6 threat, but she went for rook g3. Probably she still wants to play. No, she wants to probably capture the f pawn on e5,
yeah, sure.
and then to continue the attack on the king side. And which one was your favorite in both pools?
I liked the game. I was enjoying Lizzie's game against Nana, actually, after bishop b8. It's quite complex position. Yes, okay, so what's happened here?
Let's take a look at the current position. Is that current? Oh, we're so good at predictions,
so
right?
A4 happened, A6.
Yes.
And the queen went to e6, so not queen c6 because of knight takes d4, perhaps. That was the reason. Queen e6, and it's Elizabeth's move. Now, is she looking at a sacrifice, or is she just going to play knight to a3?
With idea knight c4, right?
Well, I'm just saving my knight. Basically, the knight's
for
attack.
now.
So. But sure, she has the c4 square, yeah.
Yeah. This looks really interesting position.
Would you rather be white here?
I would like to be white here rather than black, because it's like more space on the queen side, more pieces there.
Black is yeah, a little bit blocked up here, but still, maybe bishop a7 would be a move. She could perhaps bring this knight back to b8 and then come back to c6 with the knight as a possible plan. And her c8 bishop also needs finally to get out, doesn't it?
Yeah. She brings another piece on the 8th rank. What it can be. It's interesting.
Was knight a3 played?
Yeah, we're not receiving the moves yet.
But she played a move, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Knight is on a3, I see that. Knight is on a3.
Another game, Keti, that we looked at early on, I think at the very start, we could maybe look is Gorachkina's game against Gune. Should we go back to that? Was it the other pool? Was it? Because I think it's the first game we looked at, wasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, there's so much exciting chess here, it's difficult for us to... you look at one and then something else happens on a different board, but...
Ooh, a lot of changes.
Let's see. Oh no, this is
Kostyuk.
Let's have a quick look. This is
Yeah.
a piece up, yeah?
It's a Kostyuk against Mama Dova Gulnar.
Just a piece up?
Yeah. And very, very strong move. Queen g6 is coming now. Light squares are so weak, and black is trying to escape, but
Black
anyway.
is completely lost here, piece down for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's going to be one for Alexandra. Now, what can Gune do? That was it's in fact it's become a very peaceful game.
Yeah.
This was the Berlin defense with bishop to f1 and back to d3.
Yeah. Oh,
and
bishop
so on.
never moved from
And
d3.
so she must have developed her queen's bishop on b2.
Yeah, the bishop just remains here on d3. I don't see that she ever moved this bishop from d3 from the moves that I see on the screen. And also the time situation is more or less equal here. 10 minutes for white and 13 minutes for black. And when they're like two strong players, they're trying to play very solid, not to risk too much, and draw is also acceptable. This is board 1. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
we might see some interesting scenarios when it comes with time trouble.
Sure.
And let's take a very short break, and we will come back right after the break with time troubles and excitements.
Thank you.
Welcome back at the second day of FIDE World's Women Championship 2021. I am Keti. This is Stuart, and we're happy to be back from the break.
We hope you're having a good time watching it and listening, following these great games. And Keti, any results that we can bring people up to date with?
Yes, we have two results, and Alexandra Kostniuk won the game. We have checked that. She had an extra piece against Mammadova Gulnor, and also Nino Tsatsalashvili managed to win that position against Josephine Heyman. So far, we have these two results, and we might see some of the games ending right now. But this is not the end. This is not the end. So we're going to have the second round, which we're going to start at 6 p.m.
local time.
Yes, Central European time. So yeah, we have some good news for chess, and especially for female chess, women chess. Right.
Brand new sponsor, Motiva, a great deal for women's chess and for chess. FIDE signed a deal, and Motiva, leading into next year, 2022 is the year of women's chess. FIDE have declared that the year of women's chess. Yes. Keti, it's great news. The Queen's Gambit, of course, we all know about. And here we have most or many of the world's very best female chess players here in the hotel with us now playing. And so Motiva, fantastic, great news.
Yeah, that's hope. That's just a start, and for the next year, we're gonna have more supporters of women in chess.
I'm sure.
More sponsors. And together with Motiva, we have another big sponsor. This is Gazprom.
Gazprom, right.
And also, big thanks goes to the local organizers. That is Spanish Chess Federation and Catalan.
And the Catalan Chess Federation. And also the local council, of course, here in Sitges.
Yes.
So, a lot of people working hard to put this event on, especially in times of COVID that we're all still, of course, living through. So not the easiest times to organize any event, much less an international event like this one.
That's right.
So,
somehow, chess it was not so bad for chess and chess players, right? This pandemic time, we had so many online tournaments, and then Queen's Gambit was there right on time, which boosted chess a lot. And then we had a lot of online tournaments, and many chess players even started to stream and be socialized with the supporters. And somehow all these players, all the top elite players, they started to be closer to their fans and the supporters, and they also started to stream, for instance, like Anish Giri and many others. So it was not so bad time for chess, right?
Chess has come through the pandemic much stronger.
Yeah.
For different reasons, as you've been saying.
Yes, and I've heard from many chess officials that they'll keep this online chess and over-the-board chess going together side by side. So that means a lot of tournaments for players, right?
We're very lucky as chess players and people working in the chess world, people with FIDE and tournament organizers and promoters, because as you say, chess has these two streams, sort of parallel online chess and over-the-board chess.
Yeah.
And they can both survive independently and together, all pushing forwards.
Yeah.
So, Okay, so let's look at one or two games.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Now you can see the game. This is India against Armenia. The first board, Harika Dronavali against Alina Danelian. And we do have end game already.
Right, okay.
Yeah, how to avoid this position? Who stands better?
Not an easy question.
I know.
Not an easy question. Well, White has this pawn on h6. I mean, that's a key factor here. So if white has anything, it's in connection with this pawn and possibly targeting the h7 pawn of black. Meanwhile, a2 is hanging. The last move is rook c2, attacking. So does white defend or try to somehow pick up an initiative? I don't know. Probably a move like a3, rook a3. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
maybe rook a3 is a little bit
very
better.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, this looks interesting. Now we're getting into the time troubles. Both players have less than 5 minutes on the clock, and when we don't have much of the time, we might see some unfortunate blunders. This looks really interesting.
Oh wow! Which game is this?
Ooh.
This is Maris Sabaga's white.
Yes.
French top board. France against Spain. Against Anna Madnadze. Well, it looks really difficult for black.
Yes, I remember both teams need to score here, as they have 0 points so far, and you know, this is a very important match for them.
I mean, white is simply what, two or three pawns up. Maybe okay. Now black will take on d5. But look at black's king, and look at this. All the queen on g4. The threats towards black's king, the passed h pawn, and white's king is completely safe. It looks like just a lost position for black.
Yeah.
For different reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, something just.
Something has gone wrong.
Yeah, not looking good.
No.
For Anna. Let's get in here, and here we have Tanya with...
Yeah, we followed this game earlier. This was an exciting game, wasn't it? This is where black played queen h4.
Yeah.
Do you remember with the...
Yeah. I remember that.
So white is an exchange up, rook for bishop. And with this tremendous pass pawn on h7. And another pass pawn on d5. So Tanya should be winning, right?
Yeah. Looks fantastic.
She should
Is
be
there
winning.
15 seconds for black?
It looks like she's down to 15 seconds.
Okay, so that means that she made a move when she had 5 seconds on the clock.
But still,
It
rook,
is
rook g2 or
winning.
something.
Rook
I don't know.
g2, yeah. Rook g2 with idea rook g4 maybe here.
She played rook g2. Black played bishop g7. Well, I'd be amazed if Tanya doesn't win this. I mean, she's going to play. She'll win in a few more moves. That's a good. She'll play rook h1 to g1. She's got the passed d pawn as well.
I like how safe she plays rook h1. Avoids all the checks on the back rank.
Right. Yeah, because she's completely winning. So just play it safe and just keep an eye on her clock.
Very nice.
So, right. So an important win for India, we think.
Yeah. The other game, Harika against Annalyn, ended in a draw in that end game.
Right.
They agreed on a draw, or maybe even repeated
This
the
is
moves.
India, Armenia.
And both teams, they have 3 points. That means that they won one match and they drew another match. And the one who will win now will have some safe situation in the next rounds.
Yeah, we'd expect these two teams to qualify for the next stage, wouldn't we? The knockout
Absolutely,
stage,
yes.
certainly. Certainly.
Rook f7, that guards the bishop on g7, but here white has another pass pawn and she's pushing that pawn.
I mean, that's the thing also, isn't it, Keti, that in this time control, I know 10 seconds is not much, but it's enough to not lose on time. You can always play a move within 10 seconds. If you're completely winning, then you ought to win the game. That's
true. When you are completely winning, it's just fantastic.
Yes.
To have this, even 2 seconds is enough, right? You just play very fast moves like this, rook h1, d6. You see, there's not hanging this pawn, so it goes forward. You're not losing it, so you're just going it, and you can play several more moves.
And you can build your time up a little bit as well.
Yes.
Okay, great. there'll be lots of games now decided in time trouble.
That's right. It makes our work harder, so we have to
Let's find another game, maybe.
find the interesting one. Gets to next pool, maybe here.
Okay. Now, what about Elizabeth against Nana? What happened there?
I think we are not really receiving all the moves here.
You don't think this is the position, no?
No, I think it's not a position.
Okay.
And
We could
surely
zoom
the
in,
time
perhaps.
is...
Right, the time definitely doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But perhaps we could zoom in and have a little look.
Yeah, let's zoom a little bit.
There we go. So...
Oh, is that a seconds for Lizzie? Yeah, 20 seconds. Oh no. And the position is not...
It's not that by any means, no.
The pawn looks on d3, which is
Black
blocked.
pawn on d3, yes.
Blocked by the queen. Lizzie is struggling here on time.
We can't refresh the board, it's not...
Yeah.
Try to get the actual position here.
Let's get it.
Well, okay, sorry about that, but I don't think we can pull the position up.
Yeah. We're not just receiving it. But seems like...
Maybe we should look at another game that we can actually see them on the screens.
Yeah,
It's hard to make out, yeah.
Here we have Anna Moseshuk against Jolanta Savacka.
Okay, great. Yeah, this was an interesting game that we also followed a little bit before.
Yeah, the pawn structure has not changed that much.
Black had this knight on d4, do you remember? And we said that was Black had a comfortable position.
Yeah.
And well, still seems to be doing fine.
Oh, Nana and Lizzie just ended the game.
They did.
And let's zoom a bit. I see king on e5 and the other king on d4. That
Looks
means
like a win for Nana, yes.
Nana won the game.
Oh, Black win. Maybe because of time trouble as well.
Can be, yeah.
Lizzie was certainly very short of time.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it makes 2 points so far for Georgia, first and second board, and last 2 boards are also. Oh no, I see. Georgia lost on the board 3. Mary lost this end game. I think it was a blunder.
Well.
Look at this, knight f3, and Black just forgot that the rook on e1 is hanging.
Oh dear.
And yeah.
Wow.
It might be not correct.
Okay.
But things like this are happening, right? Just can't forget. Let's see if we have here anything interesting. This is the third board, and if German manage to win this game on this board, they can tie the match. I don't believe that this is the current position.
No, but with this game, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not up to date.
Yes. Maybe you can take a look at the playing venue. We might have some idea how many players are still remaining.
Sure.
On the
And any more results? I see that Dinara Sadwakasova beat Karolina Lujan.
Yeah.
So a win for Kazakhstan against FIDE Americas.
Yeah, seems like the half of the playing venue is empty. So we might get the updated results soon.
And when players finish their games, they have to leave, don't they? The playing area, or they're
leave,
supposed to
yes.
leave.
They have to leave. No one can stay in the playing venue. Only the captains have to. Can stay.
There's Anna Musicuk there.
Yeah, that's Anna Muzicuk can get her game. And here we have
against Jolanta.
Jolanta Zawadzka.
Well, somehow Anna won a pawn, but still it looks... Black should be fine, I think. White's king is a little exposed.
Yeah.
Black
If Black managed to give a check, that might weaken king even more.
And both players, of course, very short of time.
Yeah, seconds on the clock.
There you are, Queen A1, so she wants to play Bishop B5 check. Black, I mean, these kind of positions can turn either way.
Yeah.
The extra pawn doesn't really play much of a role, I don't think.
Do you think she should go here Queen D5 to play for some counterplay? Are we going to take a very short break and come back right after that?
Barcelona means relaxing. It means flying. Barcelona means discovering. It's a fairy tale with princesses and dragons. It's sharing. Barcelona means touching the sky. Barcelona means stopping time. Barcelona is life. It's love. Barcelona is unique. It means countless flights. Which Barcelona do you know? Discover them all at barcelonaismuchmore.com.
And we're back with very important moment. The games are ending, and we have very important results here. Let's get very quickly this board. This is Anna Mozyczuk against Jolanta Zawadzka. And what happened here? We have a
Well,
result.
I mean, I was just saying, I think that these positions can change very quickly, opposite color bishops and queens, and that the extra pawn doesn't really play a big role, especially when both players in time trouble. And what happened is that black won this game. Jolanta beat Anna with black. She managed to get a check on the diagonal. White had to play g3, and black's queen infiltrated. And more or less, this is where they finished, I think.
Yeah, as we see according to the clock, Anna still had time, but she probably resigned as she's losing the pawn on g3 with a check, and
h3 is going.
Yeah. And then queen can come back on guard f7 weakness and to play that. So here we have a resignation.
I mean, there were probably some more moves. I'm not sure, but anyway, black won.
Can be some other moves. We have less and less game in progress. I think about 5 games in progress.
Right, we have results more or less. Any big surprise results that you can see, Keti, looking down the lists?
Yes. Yeah. We have India versus Armenia. Here we have 2.5 to 1.5.
India won, so Tsatsalashvili won her game as we followed that.
Yes. And the only player who managed to win in Armenia team, that was Lilith Mikritichian, who was about to lose a piece after g5, remember? g5, g4 was coming.
I'd like to go back and see that game, and we'll have a look later on.
Yeah, we can take a look at that. So there was the result that got the attention. There's one more game in progress.
Great.
This is the match.
Spain-France.
Spain-France, very important match for both teams. They need to win last 3 rounds. Last 3 rounds, they will not have more chances. They need to get in top 4 players. So far, they have 0 points. And the match points are very important for them. And let's take a look. Who's trying to win here?
Wow, I mean, this game would normally finish a draw, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see if anything. Do we know how the match stands at the moment? Does the match depend on this result?
I don't see any results updated here. This is another match. I think all of them are still playing. This is another match, 19th game. White has an extra pawn in here.
So this is winning for Marta Garcia Martin. Spain against France, the same match. So White is winning this position.
Yeah. Oh, we have one result over here, and seems like the team Spain is a leader here, as the player won this game from with black pieces.
This is Maria Etzaguirre beats Natasha Ben-Mesbah.
Yeah, and there is a very important information about Maria. She just got wild cards for FIDE Women's Grand Swiss Tournament 2021.
In Riga.
That's huge.
That's great. That's fantastic. Well, she's had a great result recently. We spoke about her yesterday.
Yes.
On the show. Spanish under-18 champion, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And so she's off to Riga.
Yes, she just got the invitation from FIDE president.
That's great.
Today, and she should be really happy, and all her supporters should be really happy. This is huge. She's just 18 years old and already has a wild cards to play.
Okay, good.
One of the strongest.
Good, and she won today. Look, she won.
Yeah. That's the reason why she's invited. Yeah, her rating is, look at this, 1800. This is
that's her rapid rating. Yeah, sure.
Yes, she's a FIDE master, and she seems to be a talent, right? She's just racing right now.
No question. Yeah. So there was this position. I mean,
still.
The best black could hope for is, but that won't happen. Even if White lost her c4 pawn. Then, of course, black can play, but this should finish a draw.
Yeah, I think draw is just fine because this game has already ended with a beautiful checkmate. Look
Oh,
at
it's
this.
checkmate! Wow, it's checkmate. Look at that. Amazing. Yeah.
Knight c4 checkmate.
It's checkmate.
Yeah, nice one. So this makes 2-0 for Spain.
Right.
And even that game, if they can end in a draw, that's still.
So Spain are going to beat France.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, this pool is done. Maybe we have some more games in the pool B. Let's quickly take a look. I don't see. Oh yeah, we have one, but we have this game at this position for a long time. Maybe we can take a look at the playing venue and check out if we have some more games there.
And we have some exciting matches to look forward to, I'm sure, in an hour's time, more or less, 6 p.m. Just over an hour until the next round.
Yeah, players have like 1 hour to relax, to come up with some strategy. Maybe I don't see anyone who were preparing. Was preparing.
I think you need to rest. I know if I were playing such a competition between the first game at 3 p.m. and the next one at 6, I would just want to rest.
No.
Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Maybe get a coffee.
Yeah.
Go out in the sunshine a little bit.
Yes.
And just empty your mind and just and spend time with your team and with your team captain. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. We have seen that yesterday. That players were joining the sun and some drinks, and they were chatting and.
But
all of them
not
seemed
preparing. Definitely not preparing. Because
all of them seemed really happy. So it was so hard to guess the result.
Yeah.
So hard to guess result. But we're gonna have the updated results when we come back. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll come back at 6.
6 or just before 6 maybe.
Yeah, before 6.
And for the next round. Yeah. So see you then. Thanks for joining.